Behind him, someone who I think is going to be important to the ability for Maryland to succeed. And obviously, what comes with that is making revenue and everybody being fired up about watching Maryland football. This is a young man we've had a lot of opportunities to talk to over the years, dating back to when I was calling. I think you called a game down there
I
too,
did, yeah.
didn't
I called
you?
a couple. I called a few
Both
Spalding
we
games.
both all
Yeah.
called his games dating back to when he was in high school. Joining us now, he is the quarterback here at the University of Maryland, Malik Washington. It's so great to see you. Thank you so much for stopping over to hang out with
Yeah, thank you
us.
for having me.
Man, we were just talking with Joe about this day that the Ravens were here, and you got to connect with Lamar Jackson. As someone who grew up here, can you tell me about? I don't know if you'd ever met him before, if you've ever had a conversation with him. Can you tell me about what that moment was like for you? I don't even know if you guys really got to talk at all, but like the impact that watching him has maybe had on you as a quarterback.
Yeah, definitely. It was my first time meeting him as growing up here, like you said, a Ravens fan my whole life. Really, it was special for me to get a moment like that. He's a person that a lot of quarterbacks look up to, right? Like myself included. Just seeing somebody at that level having that success, like it just gives you a picture of it's able to be done.
Like it's funny because you guys aren't the same style quarterback, right? Like you are obviously you. I don't think we're going to see you run the ball the way that he ran the ball at Louisville. I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon. Not that you couldn't, but I just don't think that's the style. What maybe have just from watching him? What are things that you've picked up over the years that maybe have influenced the type of player that you are, what we've seen from you on the field?
His pocket presence, really, his ability to go from 0 to 100 back to zero really fast, change his pace on defenses, make it harder for guys to sack him, not just playing at one speed all the time.
You are obviously there's a lot of attention on you. There's always been a lot of attention on you. We've talked about this a lot over the years, how you've handled that. And I know that your mom has helped in that process a lot, who I always need to say hi to because she's a wonderful person and she's never been anything other than wonderful to me. Your ability to handle this pressure, to come in last year as a freshman and start and be under that microscope and get kicked a little bit, right? Like go through some struggles. Where does that come from? What did you learn from that specifically that now that you've been entrenched, you don't have to worry about, am I going to be the guy or not? How has that continued to help you grow going into year two?
Yeah, I would say like the tough skin piece really came from my dad's side. To
Hmm.
be honest, competing over there, I had a bunch of older cousins, uncles and all that stuff, and we would, from playing the game, playing football, riding bikes, whatever we're doing, we're competing in everything. Win, lose, or draw, a whole bunch of smack being talked. So like it's something that you kind of get used to over the years. You build that callus up a little bit, and then too like moving forward, like for me, it's my faith as well. It just keeps me kind of grounded, humble in it, and understanding that there's a plan for my life. No matter how good or bad things are going right now, there's always a plan at the end of the day.
Was it you've done a lot of winning and you've had a lot of success in your life? Was it difficult to go through that last year? Like did it test you a little bit? I mean, any of those frustrations?
A little bit, cause really for me, like the winning piece didn't start till like late middle school, early high school. Like when I was younger, first started playing football, we weren't really winning that many
Okay.
games. Really, I think I didn't win a game till like my second, third year playing football.
That
Like
sounds
yeah,
impossible. Did they not know they had Malik Washington on their team?
so it was like it was something that I hadn't been used to for a while, but it took me back to that point of understanding like what losses can bring you and how you can like the loss is a loss, but you have to find something out of it, something positive out of the negative to make it worth it.
Yeah, he's Malik Washington. He's with us here on GCRs. We're live from College Park at Jones Hill House. How does it change, right? Like, part of it, obviously, just the experience is going to make you better. And then, like, I have no doubt that that's part of the story. But how else does it change for you guys? Because as I know, Coach pointed out during Big Ten Media Days, it's not like, you weren't in a lot of those games. What is the difference in going from team that can be close, that can fight and compete to team that's ready to win those games in those moments and turn 4-8 into 8-4 or even better than that?
One piece is the experience, of course, with us bringing back so much of our roster. It's guys, who we were playing a bunch of freshmen last year, a lot of true freshmen, some redshirt freshmen. Like it was a good amount of guys that were young that were playing for the first time, and some of the things you experience on the field, you can't really replicate it in practice. Like you can try your best, but that field experience is something that we all needed. So getting a lot of those dudes back that are have an extra year under their belt, and then two, just the things we emphasize in off season. We all remember that pain of the 3 game stretch where we're in the game in the fourth quarter and we can't find a way to finish. So just emphasizing the finish in everything that we do.
You like it. Is there anything that are you I need to obsess over like watching the things? Like, do you continue to watch film after the season's over? Do you continue to go back and look at things that you did in certain spots, or are you the type that says that's not gonna? I don't want to dwell on any of that. Like, I want to work on what's in front of me.
Yeah, I won't dwell on the games themselves,
Yeah.
like places I need to improve. So if I watch back and it's some throws that I found I was consistently missing throughout the season, I'll go and work on
Do you
those
then
and
spend
improve
like we
those.
would see you out on a field just like making that same throw over and over again?
Not even just making the same throw, but understanding the body position it takes to make the throw, because you're never going to be in the same situation. Like, you can step out here onto the grass with nobody out here and a receiver, and yeah, you can make the throw 1,000 times, but what happens when there's a defender in your face? What happens when there's somebody
It's a
covering
little
him?
bit different,
Yeah,
right?
so
Yeah.
it's like you need to understand your body position and how that can relate to the throw. So different ways you can get to it. So not just dropping back, clean pocket, making a throw. It's a drop back, it's a move, it's a slide, whatever it is to get to that spot and be able to make the throw.
The decision to stay here. I don't know that I ever doubted it, knowing your path and how you ended up here. But I have no doubt. I'm just going to guess there were plenty of people that were calling you, reaching out, and trying to get you to consider, going elsewhere after last season. Can I assume that's correct?
I mean, I didn't hear much of it because whenever it was like, my family stuff, whatever they had, like, people talking to them, I just told them to keep me out
keep
of it.
it.
Yeah,
Let me just do
let
my
me
thing.
focus on that.
Was
So it
was there
wasn't something
ever
about to me.
any doubt for you? Like, I get the sense that when you decided to come here, this was not to you ever going to be a stepping stone.
No,
Like,
not at all. It's always, once the season ended, I knew I was ready to get back to go to work next season. It was never something of like, there was no question for me. I knew I wanted to stay around. This is the place I chose. I chose to come here, for 3 to 4 years and get a degree and do all this stuff. And I want to make it from here. So it wasn't a stepping stone for me. It's a path on my journey.
and technically it could be 5 now.
Yeah.
But I understand why it is that you're saying 3 to 4 because, we're expecting maybe some bigger things down the road, and I completely get that. The role that you play now in being the guy to get other guys to come here, and I also know that you started playing that role ever before you were here, but the fact that, like, you and Sydney, and I know it's so heartbreaking what's going on with Zahir, but that you all kind of made that decision together. Was that intentional? Were you guys talking about that together and having conversations and making sure that everybody was in lockstep with each other?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there was, of course, locker room conversations about it. Like, in the offseason, it's a bunch of gray area around. You don't know who's leaving, who's going, who we're bringing in, who's getting out. Like, it's a whole bunch of stuff going on. So I just made sure to, we all have that conversation as, 3 young guys who had a big, important role last year. And not just those 2 either, but the rest of the freshman class. If you look, like, whole freshman class is still here. It was something important for us to be able to continue to talk about that and stay around and build what we said we were going to do.
You say you're going to do, like, what gives you that belief? Like, what? Because I think that was a huge statement, right? For a lot of people that there's, I'm sure you're great at blocking out a lot of the outside noise, but it's hard, right? Like, it's all there. That was a massive statement, all of you stepping up like that and saying, no, we are bought in. Why? Why are you so bought in?
The belief really in the brotherhood that you build, the bond that you build. If you talk to anybody whenever they come around this campus, especially around this team, they see how close-knit of a team we are, not just as a team, but as a program. From the head man down to, anybody that you can think of, to the assistants, whoever it is. Like, we're all a really close, connected family. And you see that throughout the building. You feel that energy throughout the building. And that's what makes people want to stay around.
What's the coolest thing about being Malik Washington? Like, what's the bet being the big man on camp? Like, what's the coolest part about this for you?
Probably just seeing the looks on, like, kids' faces when you get to take a picture with them or, sign an autograph for them, things like that. Because I remember being that kid.
Who was that for you? Who was the guy that you met that you were like, I can't believe I'm getting to meet this dude?
We went to Ravens practices when I was younger, and I think the first one I saw was, like, Justin Forsett.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, we saw him running back. That
he had a hell of a run,
yeah,
right?
did.
Like, he had a really
it
nice
was
couple
really
of
cool to
seasons.
see him.
Yeah.
I remember meeting Steve Smith at, like, a bowling alley one day. He did, like, a meet and greet, and I was there. Guys like that, just looking up to them, and they didn't realize the impact that they had on me. And, what pushed me to get to this point. So I just want to be able to do that for somebody else.
Man, that's cool. Oh, that's so cool, right? So you obviously, there's a little bit of a different aura that comes with being definitively QB1, right? Do you have to, like, watch yourself? Do you have to watch what you're saying to people? Do you have to be like, I'm representing something bigger? Like, is there a I want to say pressure, but like a responsibility that's come with that since you've arrived here?
I would say as soon as you put that Terps script on your body, you have a different responsibility, especially on the football team. As any athlete on campus, right? Like you're looked at in a different light. You have to carry yourself a different way. So especially on the football team. So not just the quarterback, but for me, to back up whoever, like it's just everybody carries that responsibility of going out and representing our program well.
All right, you have an old friend who showed back up on the coaching staff this year, right?
Yes,
like, what has that meant to you for Kyle? For those that don't know, Kyle Schmidt, who was offensive lineman here years ago, I won't say how many years ago, but a number of years ago, who was your coach at Archbishop Spalding, is now back as tight ends coach here at Maryland. Can you tell me about that relationship? What it's meant to you and how cool it is to have him back here on staff, knowing how much he cares about this place.
Yeah, he's a person, like you said, that cares about this place. He was somebody that was here, when we had a lot of success.
Having a lot of success.
Yeah. So it's like he understood what it took at that time to get to that point. And he did the same thing. It took longer at the high school level for him, but he got to that point of where we reached that success.
No doubt about it.
And it's just he understands what the work looks like. And then two, like our relationship has always been amazing. Head coach to quarterback in high school, like we have to have a great relationship. We're always on the same page about a lot of stuff. It just gives me another familiar face here that I can look at and confide in.
Man, it's so cool. I know how cool it is for him. Like I know how emotional it is for him to be back here. It's such a cool thing that it worked out that way. You were hanging out with Stefon Diggs a couple weeks ago, right? Yeah. Like, had you ever met him before? Did you know him at all? What was that like?
Not like met him in that sense. We kind of met in passing, just seeing each other, around. But we all got to work out, and it was pretty cool to get out there and see some of the knowledge that he had for the receivers.
Was he like trying to give you some tips? Was there anything that like he told you that you were like, man, I'm definitely going to take that with me?
I was really just paying attention to what he was telling the receivers to understand their position a little bit better, and how they see things from their perspective. Because like looking at it from my perspective of behind the lines is way different than them split out wide and how they see the game. So making sure we can all just get on the same page.
You mentioned the receivers. There's a lot of new receivers this year. We met one of them earlier. We met Chris Durr. And I was asking him about, like, establishing rapport with you and how that goes. And he mentioned, like, going over to your place and hanging out and playing Wii.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he claims that whatever you guys were playing, he was kicking your ass.
That's a lie.
Now, I wanted to make sure. Yeah. As a reporter, I have to get to the bottom of this.
That's a lie. CD got dog walked. We played Wii Sports, the original Wii Sports. We played baseball. Or no, I think we started off with tennis. I beat him in tennis. Then we played baseball. He got mercy ruled in baseball.
No.
Bring it up. He got mercy ruled in baseball. It was bad. I think I pitched first. He 3 up, 3 down, got him out of there. And then I went to go hit, and I might have went up like 7-0. And then by the time I stepped off, like I think on Wii Sports like a 5-0 rule or something like that.
No.
Mercy ruled him in baseball. We didn't end up playing golf. Bowling, I think he ended up quitting bowling. Like, it was bad. CD got whooped. I don't know why he came on here and lied to y'all like that. But CD got whooped.
First of all, I love the fact that you guys are playing old Wii games. Like, do you have how many hours?
That was my Christmas present to myself.
Really?
Yeah, I just bought one. I bought Wii Sports Resort, Mario Bros, Mario Kart, all the games.
What did you like? Were you always a gamer?
A little bit, yeah. Like when growing up, so before my little sister, it was just me in the house. So it was like I had nothing else to do really but play the game, play the Wii.
Okay.
And that's whenever I go to my, grandma's house, cousins and stuff.
But did you ever become like a Call of Duty guy or anything like that?
Not too much.
Okay.
I did a little bit. Quarantine. I mean, kind of had nothing else
to
do.
Basically what everybody was doing. That's a great
nothing
point.
else to do. But
the guys in the NFL were playing like 12-hour Call of Duty sessions during quarantine.
I was never a first-person shooter guy.
So you were more of the. I love this, dude. So I'm quite a bit older than you, as you can imagine. And like when the Wii came out, it was so like transformative for all of us who had like grown up playing video. We're like, what? We can stand up and play, and we would lose hours just having friends come over and playing that stuff. So it's really cool to me that that's what you guys are doing. Is that a normal thing? Are you getting other guys together and doing that?
Yeah, I mean, anytime somebody comes over to the house, like any of my teammates, they'll see the Wii. Yeah, but you got a Wii? I'm like, yeah, we can play. I got all the games. Like whatever game you want to play, I got it.
So who can beat you like at Wii bowling? Is anybody on the team?
I I don't think so. The only person that got after me was Caleb Webb in tennis.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a pretty good tennis match. It was back and forth.
Are you a tennis player in real life or
No,
just on Wii?
not at all.
What
Just on Wii.
what else do you golf at all? Do you do anything? I know you were a basketball
I played
player.
basketball, but that was about it.
Do you still like hoop at all, or
Nah.
just don't have the time for that?
Yeah, not really.
I think I've asked you this before. Like, if they were like Buzz were to be like, "Hey, man, could you come over at the end of the year and give me a couple of minutes?" Would you still? Obviously, you're not going to do that because you've got other priorities. But if he asked, would you still be capable? Like, could you play at that level? I mean, I don't think people realize how good of a basketball player Malik was. Like, he was outstanding. Could you play at like the Big Ten level, give him some minutes if you needed to?
I think so. I think I can go out there. Coach, give me like 8 to 10 minutes. I could probably get you about maybe 4 rebounds.
There you go, right?
Maybe like 6 points and like 2 hard fouls to make.
I could, and I was always capable of giving. I could give the fouls. I couldn't do any of the other things. None of the other things would be helpful. But you got to have that guy that can be a little bit of an enforcer in that moment. And so you think you're coming into this paint. As you're picking yourself back up from the floor, make that decision again about whether or not you want to come into the paint.
Facts.
That's what I feel. That's the way that I feel. Malik, what else is going on in your world? Like, if you get 5 minutes where you're not worried about football, what else are you thinking about?
Nothing really. I use every chance I can to go back home.
I know you did the camp again this summer at Under Armour, right?
Yeah, it was really fun. It was really good. Great event. Production was amazing. I just appreciate everybody that helped out.
Dude, it's something that Malik's done for years, dating back to when he was in high school, legitimately, and hosted the camp. And I know it's been a special thing for a lot of kids to be a part of that. And you've always done you've always tried to make it free, right?
Yeah,
like you've always
free every year.
You want kids to be able to come do it.
Yeah, definitely.
Good on you, man. Good on you for doing that. That's an awesome thing. We can't wait to see you, obviously. We can't wait to see the step forward that this program is ready to take this year and how you're going to keep kicking ass moving forward. Malik Washington, really appreciate you coming back over and hanging out with us. You know we'll be talking to you really soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
It's Malik Washington. We'll grab a break. Still, Nasir Taylor, Maryland Edge, set to join us next as we continue along on a Wednesday edition of GCR.